Så når jeg skal ha introen, hvor skal jeg stå da? Her? Ja. Så. Da går jeg på scenen, Sondre. Bare ta en test, ikke sant? Ja. Welcome to this year's press conference, or should we call it talk show, for the Impossible Games. Okay? Bra lyd? Ja. Hello, everyone. I'm Steinar Hoen, the meeting director of the Bislett Games, but now also of the Impossible Games. I'm pleased to welcome everyone here at Thon Hotel in Oslo, and even more to the thousands and thousands of followers through the live stream around the world. We'll now take you through all the events with most of the athletes taking part at tomorrow's meeting. And starting with the first event, it's the pole vault. So please welcome in Oslo, the world record holder, Mr. Mondo Duplantis. And then some pictures. So if you can stand in front of the sign, and then we have the Norwegian junior champion, Paul Lillefosse, only 19 years old, with a record of 570. Keep the distance, and then maybe take a little bite of the Norwegian strawberries. Perfect. Then we will just put down the chairs. If you can just go a little to the left, and Morten will come and we'll put the chairs down. Hello, guys, and welcome to Oslo and the Impossible Games. Mondo, how has your trip been?
It's good. It was a little strange. Airport was a little more empty than usual, but I'm here. I feel good, and just glad to be back competing for sure.
And Paul, sitting now next to the actual world champion, you're only 19 years old. This winter you jumped 570. This is a super talent, Mondo. He's coming to get you.
I know. It's good. Yeah.
How is it to be here at the Impossible Games, sitting next to maybe your idol, the world record holder?
Yeah, Mondo is, when I was like little, 11 years old jumping, Mondo was only like 2 years older than me. And everybody was like talking about this small guy in the US jumping extremely high. And I always tried. I just wanted to like follow his footsteps and like do the things he's doing. And I think right now it's pretty difficult to do what he's doing. He's jumped like 2 times world record now, but I want to like keep improving myself, and one day maybe have a chance to like challenge Mondo in a championship or in a competition.
So these are strange times. We have Mondo and Paul here present at the talk show in Oslo, but we also have the former world record holder and the super legend, Mr. Renaud Lavillenie. He's with us on Zoom. Hello, Renaud.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
So we are sitting here, and I was looking at you a little bit earlier. Are you fixing your house?
Yeah. I'm working in a house close to the beach, so it's a good time to think something different in this time.
So how long have you been at home now, Renaud? Because it's been quite strict, the rules in the lockdown rules in France. So how many weeks and months have you actually been at your house?
I've been locked down until from the middle of March until the middle of May. So I think it has been eight weeks, something like that. So and then we had 3 more weeks where we are not able to move not far than 100 kilometers. And now we can move, but yeah, it's being a long time that we have been spending a lot of time at home.
Do you miss traveling, Renaud? You've been on the circuit for 20 years, traveling every week. Has it been nice to be home, or are you actually now feeling ready to start traveling again?
Well, it's a kind of both feeling. At the beginning, it was good to be home because I was able to spend a lot of time with my daughter, with my wife, and especially at the time of the year that usually I'm traveling everywhere and I'm not spending so much time with them. But after that, yeah, I'm missing a little bit the travel situation. But when you're doing pole vault, traveling with sports is not a nightmare, but sometimes it can be very dramatic. So it's okay for me right now. But yeah, I can't wait to be back in a plane for one time and especially to be back to go on the track. So I hope this time will come as soon as possible.
So this is not the first time you actually compete against Renaud, because you guys, you're creative. You actually have the garden clash a few weeks ago. How was that?
Yeah, true. Well, it was actually Renaud's idea, so he's the creative one. But no, yeah, it was really fun because in a time of, I would say, uncertainty, and we didn't really know what was in store for us. We didn't know what competitions we'd have next. It was something to look forward to, something to do, and it was fun to compete against those guys again, even if it was kind of virtually, but got to get in the competitive mindset again, and to me, it definitely felt like a real competition.
I watched it. It was fun, and you both of you jumped 37 times over 5 meters in 30 minutes. And
I did 37. He did 36.
Okay, it was a tie anyway because of home ground advantage, and because he made the whole concept, you let him tie, yeah?
Yeah.
But now you guys are meeting up in different circumstances because Renaud has already jumped from his garden a few days ago, and he will not tell you what he actually has done. But in order to make this happen, it's going to be a secret.
Okay.
But this will be the first time ever Renaud can sit in front of the television with a beer, watching himself compete. Do you look forward to that, Renaud?
Yeah, and especially, like tomorrow I will be with my friend who used to train with me. So we will be, I think, all having a drink, watching myself jumping against Mondo at the same time. So I think it's going to be very fun, and especially because I know my result before. So I will be really exciting to see how the guy in Oslo will be able to jump high or not.
So without telling how it went, can you say something about how the competition was, because you were jumping alone, but you know that the guys will compete against that competition tomorrow.
Yeah,
How was the
definitely.
situation? Did you get nervous? Did you feel like a competition? How was it?
Yeah, the good thing was that I get the same feeling as a competition, like a little bit of stress because you put the bar and you know that it is something real. But the only thing was strange is that it was hard to find any motivation when you saw one guy jumping and clearing a bar. So I was just focused on trying to be as good as possible, trying to reach every bar at the first attempt. But I was not able. If I miss one, you don't take the pressure because you don't see any other guy jumping this bar. So it's kind of strange situation. So it was first a kind of competition against myself, and then I know that will be against the two guys. But yeah, honestly, it was good. It was a good try, and yeah, I think it's something that we are not used to do in a real life, but it's very interesting.
So this will be the first time ever. There will be a part real competition and part virtual competition, but he will still be a part of the competition, and you guys have no idea what he's done. So when you're starting tomorrow at 5:31, for example, then you have to wait and see if Renault is clearing. So how do you think this whole setup will be?
It's super strange. I didn't realize that he already competed, actually. I was wondering what we were going to do, but what if I miss like 570 first attempt and he made it virtually already in the past? Can I get notified to where that I can pass? Or how are we gonna do that? Or do I just not know what he jumps until at the very end?
So the judge at the actual meet, he will know how the competition is proceeding. So it will be just like a competition. He will be a part of the competition, and there will be an X when he's jumped, and you can play the.
So I can ask.
You can play the poker. You can pass. You can wait. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be strange. That's gonna be strange. But I don't know. I don't really know what Renault's capable of in that backyard. Really, I think
You'll see tomorrow.
I guess
I don't know. I don't know.
I know.
No,
But I think it's kind of cool just kind of the unknown, because now I feel like I have to jump anything to win.
Yeah. And so anything could be whatever, but I can inform you that we have had Team Lobiger having the stadium record for too long. It's 6 meters, and it's been there for many, many years, so that could be a goal. What about yourself, Paul? What are you aiming for tomorrow?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm just always going into competition. Personal best is my goal, but like now, first competition would be this like big competition. So if you get like all the details in place, I think yeah, I don't know. A high jump can be produced, but I don't really know. Time will tell tomorrow.
So this will be the season opener, the real season opener for both of you, and I can promise you fantastic weather tomorrow. We have had maybe some luck here, because it's going to be warm, not too much wind, but I cannot promise you any spectators on the stadium. So, but I can promise you incredible amount of TV viewers. Believe it or not, the Impossible Games is going to be broadcasted in more than 100 countries around the world. I still can't believe this, because this was just a crazy concept 2 months ago, but that's fact.
Yeah, that's really cool, and I think that will be enough motivation even when we're out there on the track and we can't see anybody directly in front of us other than the cameras. Just knowing that behind those cameras there's a lot of people watching, I think that will be enough motivation to go out there and jump something good.
So I would like to say thank you to all three of you, and good luck tomorrow. It will be exciting. The pool wall starts already at 19:30 CET, European time. So good luck, and make the best man win. And Renault, don't take too many beers while watching yourself compete tomorrow. It will make you retire too early. Thank you. Okay. Yeah? Thank you. Så neste gruppe. Waiting for the next group to come in.
Good.
Bilde først. So we're just waiting to get the next group of athletes entering. 4. And a big welcome to Mr. Philip Ingebrigtsen. So you forgot the strawberries. What happened to the strawberries? Strawberries, the pictures. You ate them. You wasn't supposed to eat them. Yeah. So if we can get first Philip, you can wait. Wait, Philip, stand over there and look at the cameras and eat some strawberries. Not look at me, look at them. Well. Perfect. Then you can just wait here, and we'll have the girls. Selena, welcome up. Please take some strawberries, and I want you all over here. And I want at least 2 meters here. Oh, yeah. And then look at the journalist and eat strawberries. No, don't look at me. Perfect. So you can put the strawberries over there if you don't want to have them while sitting, and we'll get the seats sorted out. Selena, you're going to sit all the way to the end here. That chair. Yeah. Then we're going to get Philip to Yeah. So we are ready for Group 2, and we have 2 events now to talk about. First, it's Philip that's going to attack the Norwegian 1,000-meter record. And that's a record which has stood for a long time. And the reason for that is it's Vebjørn Rådal, the Olympic champion from Atlanta 1996, that has the record. And Philip, are you up for the challenge?
I think so. I've been pretty close to the record once, 4 years ago. So it'll be fun to see how fast I can go tomorrow. Hopefully I can beat the record. I think it's a Norwegian record that needs improving. So I'm up for the challenge.
So very short, how has the preparation for you been in these special circumstances with the virus? How much has it interrupted your training, you think? If any?
My training has been kept on going. Had to do a bit more winter training than planned, and we should have traveled to the US and do some altitude training. So yeah, that was cancelled pretty early, and since that we just tried to keep the training going and try to be as ready as possible for whenever racing started. So when we heard of Bissell Games plans for the Corona situation, then I was pretty psyched, and been focusing on tomorrow for a couple of months now. So yeah, it's been really motivating to have a short-term goal and not just the whole season cancelled. So yeah, it's been great to have a race.
And Hedda, Hune, Celine, welcome. You guys are running a very special distance. You're both 800-meter runners, but at tomorrow's Impossible Games, you're running this 600. So tell us a little about, how you prepare for a 600 compared to 800, and how is that going to be?
I think both of us run also the 400 sometimes, so 600 is a good in between.
Yeah, I also did in the past often to start the season a 600, and I like this distance. It's almost like an 800 meter, but you can stop before it hurts.
Yeah, and you can run a bit faster.
So is there a fact that when you're an 800 meter runner and you run a 600, you get a little less nervous before the start because it won't hurt that much?
I
I
think
don't-
that depends.
Yeah, I think tomorrow it's gonna be the first competition since a long time, and I think I will be nervous. Yeah, like it's like the nervosity you feel for the first competition. It's always a little bit different, I think.
Yeah, and also like the circumstances is quite different, so that will be nervous. And yeah, I look forward to having a competitor, like not having to do it alone. So I think that will make the level higher for us both.
So normally you're nervous because there's a lot of people in the stadium that were going to watch you, and if you don't do well, it's kind of embarrassing. Tomorrow there's no people in the stadium, nobody, but there's a lot of people watching television.
Yeah, so still get nervous.
You guys are not only running an odd distance, but you're also running in separate lanes to keep the COVID-19 rules in Norway. We're going to have distancing between also the lanes. You're running off lane 1, you're running off lane 3. How do you think that will affect you?
Yeah, I think this is the biggest challenge for tomorrow. We are used to run in fields with other athletes, and yeah, it's something completely new to race alone in a lane. And yeah, I will start in front of Hedda, so I'm not gonna see her, hopefully.
Yeah, that will be challenging, and as she says, she will be in lane 3. So I will see her, but she will be far further. So it will be a challenge, but I'm really up to it, and I really look forward to it. And as Philip says, I'm just so happy that we had this competition to look forward to, because I know that it's hard work for everyone, and for you as well, like putting this together for us, knowing that we are going to do this race. It's been like, yeah, I get goosebumps. I just love it. So thank you so much.
I appreciate it. You know, tomorrow, to make you even more nervous, there's not only a race between the two of you, this is a fight between Switzerland and Norway. So it's a national fight, there's a national pride behind it, just as you know. Philip, you're not only going to run the 1,000, you're actually going to do 2 things. So the strategy when you come to the finish line on the 1,000 meters, what is the first thing you're going to do?
After the 1,000 meter?
Yeah. To get ready for the 2,000.
Hopefully do one 400 meter victory lap.
It's not legal, there's nobody in the stadium.
I heard that Sebastian Coe, that he recommended that that was the best recovery after a race. That's a 400 meter victory lap. So I'm gonna take his advice and just go straight to cooling down and yeah, maybe have some snacks and to get some energy, and then yeah, do the warm up one more time.
So you have around 45 minutes between the races.
Yeah.
So that means also that it's impossible to say how you're going to feel. It's going to be a gamble.
Yeah, of course, but I see it as a challenge, and I just want to race as much as possible, and yeah, tomorrow I have 2 chances, so I think it will be a night for a lot of fun, and I can, in worst case, I can use the first couple of laps in the 2K for to get going and to shake the 1,000 meter out of my legs, and yeah, hopefully I can finish strong in both.
For those of you that thinks this was my idea to ask Philip to race it, it was not. It was himself that came up with this idea. So this is a tough guy. You actually wanted this.
Yeah, my motivation through my running career has been to challenge myself and try to do stuff that's on paper not possible, and sometimes it's yeah, it works, and sometimes it doesn't. So I did a similar thing in the indoor, where I did 3 races in a short period of time, and it was really fun. But I don't think I would do it again. But it was a nice. It was fun to try.
So maybe a fantastic coincidence that you're actually trying to do the impossible at the Impossible Games.
And you know, also, you said we have to go straight back to the hotel when we're finished racing. So he's just trying to make the whole evening a race.
That could be the case, because I told all the athletes that after you finish, you have to go straight back to the hotel. But maybe Philip wanted to watch the meet, and the only way was to do 2 races. Was that the...
No. I just want to race.
Okay, anyway, you guys have a lot to get ready for tomorrow, and I wish you both luck. I will keep Philip here because we're awaiting his brothers. So good luck tomorrow, and I share from Norway.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So we'll just get the shares out, and then we'll get the rest of the team Ingebrigtsen in here. Du venter bare her. Jo, vi skal passe, så du kan bare sette den. The Ingebrigtsen brothers and the rest of the team Ingebrigtsen to take some strawberry pictures. Please welcome double European champion, Mr. Jakob Ingebrigtsen. If you can stand in front here, all of you, and then we would like you to try the strawberry, because there's a lot of press here that wants to have pictures. And when you try the strawberry, then we'll get Philip up to have a real picture of the team. Yeah, you can go. And not look at me, look at the cameras. Everybody look at the cameras. And this is the new Team Ingebrigtsen, because it's 5. And we have the 2 guys to the left there, Narvi Gilje and Per Svela. Welcome so much to the Impossible Games and the Bislett Alliance, and also the big world news. Team Ingebrigtsen has grown out of the family. And they are having a big matchup tomorrow against Team Chariot. So you can put the strawberries aside, and we'll get the shares sorted out. Jeg må sette det satt ved siden av meg. Så 3 gutter sitter nærme hverandre. Sånn da. Så 3 brødre der, og så litt avstand bort der. Ja, perfekt. So, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody watching around the world, I would like to start actually with the 2 new guys on the team. Could you please, both of you, look at the cameras and tell the whole world who you are? Because I know, but they might not know. So you can start.
Yes, my name is Narvi Gilje Nordås. I am a runner from the western part of Norway, the same places almost as the Ingebrigtsen brothers. And I kind of love to run long distances, so it's been quite a pleasure to get to train with these guys and try to become as good as I can in middle and long distances.
Yeah, my name is Per Svela, and I'm also from the southwest coast, just a 30 minutes drive out of Sandnes, where these 3 lads are from. And I'm also a long-distance runner and have been training with the brothers since 2020. I also know them from before, and I really like it, and hope to take some advantage of the professional team that they are, and improve myself, and also improve the brothers.
So now that we have introduced the bigger Team Ingebrigtsen, the whole team that's going to run tomorrow, let's have a look at Team Chariot and their preparations that happened just yesterday in Nairobi. So if we can get that film up, and you guys can look either at that screen or at that screen.
We are going on well with preparation on our race, and we are training well to face Team Ingebrigtsen brothers, and I hope we can do well here. There is a difference between Oslo and here, and we are hoping to do well. But I'm happy to race again in home ground, and I hope to be our team to be the best.
I'm prepared well. I'm just waiting for the race and to compete with my teammates so that we can see how it goes. Honestly, it's a new thing, you know, according to me, but just going to try my best. Yeah, it's a virtual race, I know, so it's a 5 laps. It's actually at least a tough one for because of lapping, you know. It's not like 1500 meters. We used to run like 3 laps and a half, but we're going to try it. And this challenge, we are ready for it, so we're going to try it if we can make it.
I tell the fans to pray for us, and then to cheer us on 11, and keep on following us on social media.
Did you get this extra nervousness now, and then you feel it's coming, and it's real? I would like the team captain, which I'm naming, is going to be Henrik Ingebrigtsen. He's going to be the team captain tomorrow.
Of course,
Please.
when you take a look at the stadium, you feel the nerves building up, and of course we're ready for tomorrow, and we're getting excited. Checking into the same hotel as last year, and trying to do the same preparations as we did last year. For us, this running without people in the stadium, I don't think we would notice once the gun goes off. But before that, of course, it's a different atmosphere than what we're used to at the business stadium.
But have we managed to give you this kind of nervousness, the competition feeling that you feel this closing in on Bislett, it matters? Do you have this feeling now, the same as you had last year and the years before, that this is actually happening and it means something?
Well, it's a good mix of feelings actually, because we're ready to race again, because it's been so long and it hasn't been any races until now. But we're still a little bit in training mode, I think. So we have to change our mindset and go into the competition with our race mode locked on. So it's a little bit different, but we have to work with ourselves and our mindset. And I think tomorrow evening we will be on fire and ready to go.
Did it help maybe, Jakob, to see Timothy Chariot and his team taking this seriously? Because they are.
Yes, of course. Watching the Kenyans prepare, of course, we have something to compare ourselves to. And seeing some footage of them makes us realize that they're also trying their best, and they're trying to run as fast as they can, and we have to be able to match that and hopefully race a little bit faster.
So this race, of course, not only in Europe and in America, but it's getting a lot of attention in Africa. So it's going to be broadcast live in almost every African country. So it's a big thing down there as well.
Yeah, we know Bislett Games is usually one of our biggest races. And for me personally, I get nervous just to look at the Bislett Stadium. So I'm already nervous, and I'm ready to race. And for me, that's a good thing. Bislett is a special race for us. It's a big race, and it's truly something special to race there. And I hope it's going to be that tomorrow as well. And when we're racing against Chariot and the best guys in the world, it's
it's going to be a tough race, but also a fun one.
Philip, when you saw Timothy and Managoy, talking, and you saw it in their eyes, they're taking this seriously. How did you feel?
Yeah, they really do, and that's cool to see. Like, I think they're ready to race again as well. And yeah, we actually did a Skype call with the Chariot team a couple of days ago, and yeah, it was easy to tell that they really want to win, and they're really like eager to compare against other runners, because they only have their group they've been training with, same as us, and yeah. The beauty of track and field is to measure against other athletes and see where you stand, and after a long winter, and this winter has been really long, so I think it's going to be that's going to be the best thing about the 2000 meter, to see like where we all stand compared to each other.
So those of you that don't know the rules for this race, it's quite simple actually. There's 5 guys at the starting line at Bislett tomorrow and in Nairobi. But what counts is the 3 best finishers. So each team can burn off 2 rabbits or 2 pacers during the race. And that's all down to tactics. And team captain, Henrik Ingebrigtsen, how are you going to set up your team?
Since it's kind of a new distance for us, we have to play it a little bit safe, because if we start off too fast, then the whole thing is ruined. But I think we're gonna take advantage of our, of course, high speed, but also our endurance and our ability to run steady laps. So I think we're gonna start at a good steady pace and keep that as long as possible, and then the last 500, it's give everything you have.
You heard Managoy said on the interview that it's 5 laps. He's normally used to 3.5, and that could be an advantage actually for all of you, because you're more 1500, 5000 meter runners than Timothy is in 800. Is better than on the 800 than the 5000. So is that kind of the way you're going to play it, that you're going to have this in the mind? Maybe I can ask Jakob about this, because I think you also want to run fast.
I definitely want to run fast. Of course, we're usually, as a group, we might be better in a 5K than in a 800. So for us, it's going to be fun to see how we're doing against Chariot and Managoy in 1 extra lap plus a little bit. So it's a different race, 5 laps, but maybe we should look at it as a mile, because that's also different from the 1500. You have to go a bit further. So maybe use the same mindset that we use going into the mile races, and then just have to keep a steady pace and then go all out the last 500.
So everyone that watched this team up here would believe that it's the Ingebrigtsen brothers that is going to finish the race, but you also saw that Philip is going to run the 1000 meters earlier in the program, and depending on how you feel, there's not 100% certainty that you'll be able to finish. You might also be helping in pacing, and that means there's 2 guys over there that is thrown out, into the big circuit for the first time, and one of you might need to be top 3 finisher. Have you discussed inside between the 2 of you? And how does that feel? Extra nervous?
First of all, I hope that Philip is going to finish, because if not, it's going to be really tough for the 2 of us, because it's the world-class athletes, the best from Kenya and the best from Norway. So if this was a World Championship final, these guys would all be right there. So, but if Philip doesn't finish, then we're not quite sure who of us is going to finish, because he's maybe more a long distance guy and I maybe have more speed than him, but we will see. We will discuss it if Philip is not feeling quite ready to finish the race.
And that means, again, back to team captain, this decision will actually, or could actually be taken just a few minutes before the start tomorrow.
Well, I think we'll see after 3 laps how you feel, and if you're out of energy, then just push one of the other guys in front of you. Now, of course, we have to see if Philip runs really well in the 1K, then he should be able to just shake it off and do a new warm up and still do a good race. We have the last few years in our national championships. Sometimes we do a lot of races. Maybe I think Jacob in the national championship 2 years ago did 5 races, and he didn't seem to notice the first 4 while he was running the 5th one. So I hope that all the kilometers of training pays off in this way. That he still has a lot of energy left after the 1K, because you 1K, then you have 500 meters left when you cross the finish line. So you have 500 meters to spare, so you only have to gain energy for 1,500 meters more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. But I think when I plan in my head to run the 2K, my mindset is more, I'm gonna beat Jacob and Henrik. But I think that's unrealistic. But it's not about if I'm gonna finish the race or not. Yeah, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna let those 2 guys get away from me. So we'll see.
Then we have that answer, and there's only one answer left, or one question left to be asked, and that goes to Jakob. If the team is holding on well, and there's 1 lap left, and you feel there's a chance you can actually go and push on and try to get close to the European record held by Steve Cram, will you first, and are you allowed then to pull on the last 400? You can answer, then the captain can answer.
I don't know if there's any rules, Captain.
No, I think if we see that we're close to some really good or fast times, I think we're all trying to go for them.
I think we have too much respect for the sport to make deals in the back room about who gets the win or not. So I think when there's 1 lap to go and we hear the bell, it's every man for themselves, and whoever has the most energy left, then that will be the winner.
So it means Jakob's free to go then when it's 1 lap.
And
left.
also I'm free to go if Jacob can't keep up with me. Then
maybe we'll sacrifice Jacob in the first couple of laps, and then
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
And of course, Henrik, you've been now competing at Bislett for many years, and it's kind of like when it gets close to Bislett. I remember last year, I didn't know if you were going to start or not, and then, but when it comes to Bislett, it's like kind of like devil inside that wakes up. So you can run shit in training 3 days before, but when you go on that start line, something happens. That's going to happen tomorrow as well?
Well, I haven't been feeling that shitty this year. So hopefully I will go into the competition with more confidence than last year. But Bislett is a special event, and well, I might have an ace up my sleeve.
So again, big thanks to Team Ingebrigtsen, and I think there's so many fans around the world that really look forward to this great matchup tomorrow between the Team Ingebrigtsen and the Team Chariot. And what can I say? Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's very open who's going to win it, that's for sure. Thank you. So girls, standing in front of the sign and take a strawberry and eat it and not look at me, look at the photographers. So then you can just, either you can have the strawberries with you when you sit down, or if you want to leave it over there, you can do that. We'll have the two girls from Finland sitting together there on the Finnish team, and then two Norwegians here. Let's keep a meter distance. Litt mer distanse. Sånn da. Okay, so welcome to a new session, and this time we're going to talk about very strange distance, but with the four really interesting and fantastic and good-looking girls. So it's the 200-meter hurdles. That's a rarely run event, but in a very special year like this year, why not try different distances? So first of all, welcome to our Finnish girls. Have any of you tried the 200-meter hurdles before? Let's start with you.
Yeah, we ran them when we were 14 and 15, so last time I ran them was 17 years ago.
17 years ago?
Yeah.
For me, it's 13 years ago.
13 years ago. So do you have good memories from that, or can you remember it at all?
Yes, actually, I won my first national championship in 200-meter hurdles when I was 15. So yes, good memories.
And then what about you?
Yeah, that was my first medal also when I was 15. I got silver in the 200-meter hurdles. So yeah, first national medal.
And both of you made the semifinals last year in Doha World Championships at the 100-meter hurdles. So in training as a hurdler, do you ever do over distance? Like train actually at the 150-meter hurdles, or is that something you actually do as a hurdler, ever?
Well, I run a lot of 11 hurdles. So we had 10 hurdles in the race, and I run a lot of 11 hurdles every week.
Yeah, I also do a lot of 11 or 12 hurdles, and sometimes it can be like 1 and 10 meters or 120 meters or something like that.
So let's ask the Norwegian team with Isabel and Linda Kloster. Any of you doing over distance, like training actually at the 150 or 200 meter hurdles? Let's start with you, Linda.
Well, I'm a 400 hurdler, so I do a lot longer than 200, and but not longer than 400 with hurdles.
So do you think that being, but you are a 40-meter hurdler, but you're also a 200-meter runner, 100-meter runner. You're basically good at anything. So in this circumstance, running the 200, you have done it before. Is it a special preparation going in?
Well, you have to get used to the distance between the hurdles, and yeah, it's a lot faster for me between the hurdles as well. So yeah, it's a little bit different, but hopefully we're prepared well. So,
Isabel, you had a long training camp in the US. Fantastic weather. Now you come home to Norway again. Fantastic weather. It's Bislett tomorrow. Do you get this competition feeling, this kind of nervousness feeling something special is going to happen? Do you feel it in your body that it's starting now?
Funkar den? Okay. This is obviously one of the most important weeks as a Norwegian athlete. It's one of my favorite weeks. It's one of those competitions where I've been dissipating since I was a youth. So coming home from training camp, obviously a very long one for obvious reasons. But no, I really like it. It's a different atmosphere coming home here. It's the biggest event we have. It's an old one. We've been having it for decades. And this is one of the few opportunities where my friends, my family, my support team here got to actually be a part of an experience in me racing. Most of the times where we have championships or the big competitions, not everybody got to be a part of it. So here, like 2 years ago, one of my favorite ones, great race, and then an hour around the track where I still was walking around when the women's 400 was going, and they're coming around the last curve, and I just see one by one coming over, and I'm like, what is happening here? And they're all coming really fast into my face, and I have to jump in the lap to someone at the tribute. So obviously this is one of the times where I really got to be an athlete and a person, like my private person, and share with people. We don't have many of those. We have like 2.
Anne-Marie, representing Finland, Nora-Lotta, you're representing Finland now at the Impossible Games. So there's not only individual pressure, it's team pressure, it's honoring the country, it's fighting for Finland. Both of you have competed around the world many times, but never been on a team on the 200-meter hurdles. So how is it going to be?
Well, not on 200-meter hurdles, but we have FinCampen every year. So we compete against Sweden. It's one of the best things, we get to compete as a team. So we're used to that, but never in this one. But of course, it's going to be fun. Try to win them.
Yeah, it's true, and usually we're against each other, so it's fun, yeah. It's different kind of competition.
And the Norwegian team, have you made any tactics? How are we going to do the race? You're going to psych them out before the start? Or are there any, behind the scenes things you're going to tell us now?
I mean, at this point, it's always me and Lena. It's this is what we do. But besides that, we've been on a national team together for years, and it's us 2 against the world. We're hurdlers, and we are both of us going to do it both legs. So I guess the one that has to really perform is me.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's both Norway and the long hurdle reputation I have to run for. Kind of. Don't laugh.
So I'm not sure if 100% correct, but I believe the Norwegian record was set back in 1981.
Not correct.
That's not correct.
Steinar took that record right before she retired, so not quite sure what that is. So anyone who has Google and can be like, hey, Steinar, check out the 200 Norwegian record and figure out if that's something that is possible to do.
I think it's either 2014 or 15.
Yeah, but we still need to figure out the time.
Oh, 26:76, I think.
Do you think we can do that?
Yeah. Blindfold.
So the Norwegian team is now saying they expect a Norwegian record in the 200-meter hurdles. What about the Finnish record? Do you know what it is?
It's 27:13, I think.
Yes, we are best.
So yeah, they're better, but I think we can both run under it.
So
we hope so.
Both of you are going to run under the Finnish record?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Definitely, my goal is to go under 27.
Perfect. Then I mean, this is the year we're going to try different distances. So the Impossible Games is all about, trying out things that you not normally do. And this is for sure something you girls are going to try out tomorrow. I wish you the best of luck and hope you'll prepare well. And then whatever team wins, be friends after, okay? Thank you so much. And then we'll have the next group in. Please, if we can get the next group of athletes to enter, bring in the strawberry. And here's some really, really big guys. So guys, if you can stand there and then look at the cameras and please eat some Norwegian strawberries. Se på han, ikke på meg. Okay. So we'll get some shares now. So if you want to keep the strawberries, you can do that, or if you want to put them over there, you'll do that. We'll get the Swedish team closest to me here. So Daniel, you can sit next to me. Yeah. Daniel, hi. Yeah. So again, we have a team with 2 Norwegians and 2 Swedish discus throwers. That's going to have their individual competition, of course, tomorrow, but we're also going to look at this as a team event. And let's start with the world champion, Daniel Ståhl. Welcome to the Impossible Games.
Thank you very much.
So how's the preparation been during this special period?
Well, in Sweden we have been training like crazy, like usually, because everything is open in the gyms and throwing fields. And yeah, except that we're keeping distance, we're washing our hands, and yeah, everything like that. But otherwise, the rest of the world is crazy right now. It's very sad.
We all know that there's been special circumstances in Sweden. It's been more open than other places. We're basically at the same point now in Norway where everything is open. But Ole, how was it during the times where Norway was a little bit more locked down? And if you go back to March, April, I know you had some special advantages being at your home with the possibility to train there.
Yeah, I was lucky to have a facility at my parents' farm and trained there in the barn, and got to borrow weight from the Olympiatoppen, and yeah, was really lucky.
And how was that for you? The training when Norway locked down in March, April, did you manage to have everything you needed to be able to do all the training you wanted? I know you've also been in Sweden a lot.
Yeah, fortunately for me, I was able to obtain a training facility so I could lift all the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't travel to Sweden with my coach and my rest of my team, but I got to do all the lifts and do all the training I was supposed to do, so it wasn't too bad for me after all.
And Simon, you already shown that you're in great shape, so your training probably has been really, really good.
Yeah, it feels good, and I'm happy with the winter training and everything we've done. So it feels good.
You know, normally at Bislett, there's always a sold-out crowd that will share for the Norwegians, but this year, unfortunately, there's nobody at the stadium, so it will be quite an equal matchup between the 2 countries. And what about your preparations and mentally going into knowing that you're going to compete tomorrow without anybody actually at the stadium, but then on the flip side of that, there's going to be more people watching television than maybe ever. This is going to be live on Swedish television and many other countries. How do you prepare mentally for that?
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a fun experience. I never competed at a big stadium with no people, so it's going to be interesting. And I think now when it's the first competition almost of the year, so I think everybody is pretty excited to get started, and so I think it's going to be a very good competition.
Daniel, you've been throwing at Bislett before, so you know how it can be. Do you think it's going to be strange coming into the stadium tomorrow, knowing these special circumstances, or are you that psyched that when you go into the competition, it really doesn't matter because you're kind of in your own mind?
I think it's going to be fun. I mean, 2 against 2, Norway and Sweden. It's going to be really fun, even though it's going to be empty stadiums, and I mean, millions of people are going to watch this on TV, so it's going to be really much fun.
And the weather forecast tomorrow is really, really good as well. So we're going to have warm weather. Also, I didn't see what wind is coming from what direction, but it's going to be 3-4 meters per second. So if you're lucky, you can also get that advantage. What's the potential now, Daniel, if you really get in a good throw tomorrow? Could it go 70?
Yeah, you never know. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to throw really far. That's my goal.
And let's talk about this team thing. I must say that the Swedish guys, the Swedish team might be the favorite tomorrow, but and the home court advantage normally is with a full crowd. But I also know that both of you have had really good training. I know both of you have had good throws in training. So what can we expect, or what do you expect yourself tomorrow? What will be satisfying?
Bislett is Impossible Games is one of my highlights this year. So for me, it's like this year championship. So I try to be at my best tomorrow, and yeah, I think new season best, and yeah.
Do you feel this? Do you feel this getting into Bislett now? It's called the Impossible Games, but you kind of feel this, even you know it's special circumstances, but you feel it's something special going on tomorrow. You get this extra nervousness.
Yeah, always. I always get nervous for this. Throw even better when I'm this nervous. So yeah.
And Simon, tomorrow is going to be a special occasion because it's the 55th time we're having the Bislett meeting. So it's not the actual Bislett Games, but it's actually the 55th time we have the event going on. So this is a historic meeting, and it's your first time competing here. How does that feel? Because you probably watched it on television before.
Yeah, for sure. Then it's an honor to be here then. And I hope we can do our best to make it memorable.
I hope that too. So, good luck tomorrow, guys, and then may the best man win, and may the best team win. Thank you.
Mange takk.
Thank you. Thanks.
Mange takk. Okay. Da lemmer man der. The next group of people. Bare få det igjen. So we'll get ready to the next session, and this is the hurdlers and the 300-meter hurdlers. Let's get the girls up first. So if you can have Sara there, welcome. Amal in the middle, and then we'll have Leah with a little distance there and just on the side there. You can stand a little bit closer, a little bit, yes. And then, you're not supposed to look at me. You can wait, Karsten. Just wait there. I'm just going to have pictures. So if the girls now can look at the cameras and eat some Norwegian strawberries and really put on a nice smile towards the cameras. Yeah? It was a mouse, I think. It's not a human. Please look at the cameras, and then we'll... There's going to be some good pictures now. Okay, so if the girls then can come a little bit over here, and Leo will stand over there, and then we'll get Karsten in the middle. And your strawberries. Because we have to do everything here. And so if you can just stand in front of the Impossible Games poster, and then look at the cameras and eat some strawberries and smile.
I suggested strawberry daiquiri so we could have no corona.
They're just taken off what was not perfect. Okay, so we'll have to have Amalie and Sara. You'll sit here, and then we'll have Karsten in the middle. Sånn, og så sitter dere sånn. Ja, litt lenger frem. Og så, du kan sitte nærmere Amalie, vet du. For dere trener sammen, dere. Sånn, der. Okay, 300-meter hurdles. Tomorrow we have the women's event with the triathletes. First of all, Lea, welcome to Oslo, Norway.
Thank you.
And then Sara Slott Pedersen from Denmark.
Yes.
Welcome to Norway.
Thank you.
You already been up to the track, I hear, and tested it out.
I saw the spectators, and yeah, I enjoyed it.
You saw the paper figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have done it all the way around. It
Oh,
was,
we're working on it. There's
it
a
was
lot of.
pretty nice.
So what she's talking about now, we have a lot of schools painting themselves. That's going to be the kind of artificial spectators tomorrow. So that was supposed to be a secret, but now you told everyone.
Sorry.
Amalie, you know Danish because you actually been there, so and lived there, and was half Danish already. Do you feel tomorrow that competing against Norway, there's a Norway-Switzerland-Denmark fight in between the individual fight? So having Sara Slott here, you were supposed to be here last year, but it was some injury. Nice to have her back.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm just happy that in my event we get such a great turnout of great athletes, and yeah, the international competition. That's going to be it's going to be fun.
The 300-meter hurdles. So let's start with Sara, and then we'll get Karsten's impression. Is that an event or a distance you have tried many times before? Is that a distance you do in training?
No, not actually. But in Denmark, it's a distance you compete in when you're 14, 15, 16 years old. So I know it, but it will be interesting tomorrow. But of course, the 300 hurdles is, I normally run like 6 hurdles, 7 hurdles, 8 hurdles in training. So I kind of know the distance, but not with the right distance to the first hurdle like it will be tomorrow. So it will be something new, but it will be something fun.
Karsten, every year at Bislett, after the 400-meter hurdles, you are dead tired. It's kind of like you're taking the last milliliter of energy out, and you're lying there almost throwing up. Tomorrow is the 300-meter hurdles. Do you get a little bit less nervous? What I'm trying to edge at is knowing how much pain you're going to get through on the 400. Tomorrow is the 300. There's a little bit less of that kind of pain, or is it not?
I understand the question, but I think actually it's almost just as hard because I'm going to go out even harder than I do on the 400-meter hurdles. You know, for me, it's I always try to empty the tank and give everything that I have, and I'm going to do it tomorrow as well. So I'm going to go out harder and try to get as much lactic acid as I do in a 400-meter hurdles. But I'm actually getting more nervous because I've not been running the 300-meter hurdles that often. So I'm more familiar with the 400-meter hurdles and how to deal with that. So it's some nerves that I have towards how I want to complete the race. But I've done it a couple of times, and I think it's going to be good.
So when you look at your career so far, I mean, last year was incredible, the finish you had in the 400-meter hurdles. But if you go 3 years back, everyone would say, you know, you could be the best 300-meter hurdles runner ever because you were so fast. Then you developed the endurance to actually do the 400. Now the training, because the training you have done towards the 300-meter hurdles has now been going on for a month. Have you done any difference in your training leading up to this?
Yes, we actually had a discussion, me and Leif, how we were going to solve this, and the answer has been to focus more on developing speed, and of course we have dedicated some time towards doing that. So I feel like I'm a bit faster now than I was last year, but at the same time, that is, we have to sacrifice some of the endurance work or the aerobic work, you say that, the fitness work. So it's going to be exciting to see if I'm going to have a hard time towards the finish line.
And tomorrow you expect, of course, to go 13 steps all the way.
Yeah, me and Lea. Yeah.
That's leading in. I was leading into the next question because Lea, tomorrow Lea Sprung is going to do something historic. She's going to actually be the first woman ever to try 13 steps between the hurdles. And Karsten, maybe you can tell us how remarkable and special that is, and then you can.
You know, it's. I think it's very ballsy to try, so I'll give you that. I think it's cool, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how efficient it's going to be, because I've been trying to do 12 steps before and everything in practice. And me, I run quicker doing 13 because you have to stride out very much. So it's going to be very interesting to see what you're going to get from it. I think I'm gonna make sure to watch it.
And Leah, what a fantastic place to try out something impossible, namely doing the 13 steps at the Impossible Games. It's the correct place.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, this season is going to be completely different and not normal. So I think it's the right time for me to try this. I had always in my head somewhere the idea of trying the 13 steps because 14 is sometimes a bit too much for me. I'm too close from the first hurdles. So we were thinking with my coach, why not trying it tomorrow at the competition? But as he said, it's not sure that I'm gonna keep with the 13 after the race of tomorrow because it's gonna cost me a lot of energy to do the 13 step between two hurdles. And yeah, but it's interesting to do it in a competition to really see if it's efficient or not. And maybe it's gonna be the only time that I'm gonna try it, or maybe not. We will see.
What I like about this is that we will never know until someone tries. So I think that is really cool.
Thank you.
And thank you for trying. And then there's a couple of other things that are going to happen tomorrow because of social distancing. We need to have one lane in between the three girls running. So Amalie will run in lane 8, your favorite Bislett lane. Sarah in lane 4 and Leah in lane 6. And how will that be, you think, Amalie, to have a race where there's nobody on the side, but there's one a little bit further out?
Well, I mean, it'll definitely be a little bit weird, but hopefully it'll take a little bit longer till Leah catches me, since I have 2 lanes. No, I'm just kidding. But it's going to be weird not high-fiving or giving each other hugs at the end, I think. It's so, like engraved in your brain. Like, it's just muscle memory, something you do when you cross the finish line. So that's definitely going to be weird. But we all have to think about social distancing and just do our part.
And Sarah, since this fantastic year you had in 2016 with the Olympic silver medal and the European Championship medal, gold medal, you've been struggling a little bit with injury. Are you back now for real?
I feel so. I was planning to finish my career after this season, but when they postponed the Olympics, I was really thinking, should I stop now? I'm 33, but I really feel my shape is back to the levels of 2016, so that would be a shame. So I'm really looking forward to this season and next season. My coach is back on full time. He's been away a couple of years, and I think that made actually a big impact on me that I didn't have a coach at every session. So, but now we are back as a team, and I think it will turn out great.
And we all know coaching, how important that is, and especially in this event. And Karsten, you have a coach which knows most about for any event, but and you're working close together. Both of you came out with something you normally don't do. You actually said something before you have done something. You came out and said, "We are going to break the world record."
I said we are going to try, but yeah, that is kind of normal for us, and that takes me back to the beginning of this idea. You came to me and you said, "I have this crazy idea. I want to do Bislett Games in another format," and I was like, "Okay, let's try." And to sell that at the point where this was, just an idea and we didn't know what was going to happen with the virus and everything. So I think that we need to have something that we can hit in the table. So I think that we had a ballsy moment there where we said that we were going to try to break the world record, but yeah, I still think we can though.
And I must say this to everyone watching, that I'm so grateful, so incredibly grateful, and I will always be to Karsten that he supported this project from the very first day. And who knows, if you didn't, then maybe.
Remember, you promised me a trip on the boat afterwards.
Yeah. But if you didn't, maybe this project would not have happened, because it was when this was planned, it was at a much darker time than now. It was in the middle of late March, early April, and things didn't look that bright that they do now. But now we're here, and it's about to be a success, and a lot of it is because the support I gotten from the athletes. And also, Sarah, when you were called up, you said yes right away. And why did you do that?
I think it's important to support the meetings that is actually trying to create something for the athletes, and it's quite close to where I live, but also you never know if it will be the only competition. So I think it's really important to support who's trying to do something. And then I was happy to hear it was a 300 hurdles and not a 400 hurdles. That's quite important.
And also, Leah, when we first reached out to you and your coach, immediately you were positive. So again, what did it actually mean for you the last 3 weeks that you actually had something you knew was going to happen?
Yeah, I think it's, as Sarah said, it's really important to have a goal in those special months, and to know that something was going on in Norway, and that you were trying to build a meeting was really great, and it helped to train, to go to training, and we could actually build something and make a more concrete plan about what was going the next week.
And Amalie, now that the Olympics has been postponed, the European Champions is gone, the Diamond League Series as we know it is changed, not going to be a final. Does the Impossible Games mean something special, you think, also for you now that you know this might be one of the only few meetings you're going to do this year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I heard that the meet was in trouble, I immediately wanted to try to do my part to help. And then I heard about this fantastic idea of yours, and you had me like from the first moment. Sorry. I was really positive and wanted to help where I could. Like the other ladies here mentioned, like it's at least it's at least one thing that you can look forward to throughout the season, because you don't know what else is coming up. So I was really excited, and I still am. So.
And Karsten, when we talked, you remember the first few days at my office, I said I had this hope that I can maybe get the meet on national television. And then I said, could be a possibility to get it on Danish and Finnish. You know, I'll telling you this now, it's sold to more than 100 countries. So it's going to be live tomorrow at more than 100 countries. I couldn't see that coming, but that's actually true.
That's because of me. You're welcome.
That's because of the athletes, and it's also because of the news story that we actually became the first one to start up again. So of course this is the
started a trend.
Yeah, and what I meant by telling you that is that now it's many people in many countries that's going to watch the meet tomorrow. And they all remember what you said, Karsten, when you came up a few months ago and said you're going to break the world record tomorrow. Do you feel this extra pressure now?
Absolutely, yes. But I love the pressure, you know. This is everything that I've been waiting for. I love having the pressure on my shoulders, you know. It's almost giving me a hard-on, so I love it.
And you have your favorite lane 7 tomorrow. We have weather, which is perfect weather, so everything is set for tomorrow to be great. And now it's only up for you to do the last preparations. And remember, even though there's no people actually in the stadium tomorrow, there's probably many, many more people watching than ever before. So if that didn't make you nervous, I don't know what I can say. I tried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now approaching the end of the show, the end of the talk show. In these special circumstances, we had to make a talk show to be able to not have this close connection between the journalists and the athletes. But there's one group left, is the group with the former European record holder in marathon, Mrs. Sondre Nordstad Moen, Caroline Grøvdal, and Salem, world champion in the 100 meters. So if you can now take a strawberry and look at the photograph, smile, and take a strawberry, and you can also take a bite. Don't look at me, look at them. So if you want to keep on eating the strawberries, you can do that. Or if you want to put them over there, then we could put the chairs and get ready for the talk show. Sondre, you can sit here next to me. We'll get Caroline in the middle. So. Litt lenger fram. Ja. So, welcome all three of you, and I can ask Salem first. Tomorrow, it's the Impossible Games at Bislett Stadium, and you are playing a big role. How do you feel? Getting nervous?
No, I'm pretty excited, to be honest. I look forward to it. It's a whole new concept, so it makes me more excited to compete tomorrow.
And Caroline, you've been competing at Bislett many years, but you never competed at the Impossible Games at Bislett.
No, that's the first time.
But you get this feeling, this, inside your body is reacting to something special is going on. You get nervous, you start to feel this competition.
Yes, of course, it's always something special with Bislett Games or Impossible Games. And also, this is the first race of the season for me. So, of course, I'm exciting and it's going to be a different competition, so that's something also. But I'm looking forward to compete tomorrow.
Because you're going to run alone, but not completely alone, because at the same track at the same time will be the former marathon European record holder, Sondre Nordstad Moen. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you have chosen the distance 25,000 meters. Please tell us about this distance and why you chose that one.
I chose that distance because my plan this year was to focus on the marathon. London Marathon in April, and then in August, marathon in Olympics. And since London and Olympics were cancelled, I didn't focus on shorter distances in training. So since I wanted to try to break some of the more some of the old records on the track, I think the 25K is the more easiest since I have to run alone most of the race.
But you're not running all alone, because after the first half hour when you've been out there, Caroline starts, and she might then choose to run on the red light, because we this year are going to use the wave light pacing system. It means each athlete can have a light that will show the exact laps, and you think it's going to be? Have you ever tried the wave light system before?
When I competed at the night of 10K PBs in London last year, they used this technology. But as I remember, something went wrong after 6-7K. So, but so it was something wrong with the wave light back then. But I think it will be useful.
So we had it up already since Monday, and Caroline, Karina, you were trying it out the other day. Please tell us a little bit how it was. It was new for you, but how was it?
Yeah, I tried it 2 days ago. I think it's very good, especially on longer distance. I tried it on a easy workout or 10 times 200 meters, and that was just to see how it works. So I think it's good, and you can have, especially on long runs, to find the starting pace. I think it's very good. So I think that's a good help for especially somebody who's running so long.
And tomorrow, the Impossible Games is not a traditional meeting. It's a TV show. It's made for television. So Sondre is gonna run and run and run for 1 hour, 13 minutes, hopefully 45 seconds, which will be a new European record. And of course, you run off lane 1. But at the time you run, Salem will be getting ready at. After you run a half an hour, you can watch Salem run the 100 meter. How will that be?
I hope he will pass me during his.
I hope so.
During his run.
So the whole concept is that many things is going to go on at the same time, and Salem, that means for the 100 meter and your 2 opponents, you will actually start in lane 3, 5, and 7, and I picked lane 5 for you. But knowing that Sondre is always running around in lane 1, when you get to the finish line, remember there's somebody there all the time.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try not to think about he running and running, because I just get tired of thinking about he can run and run and run. So pretty lucky to get to run 100 meters tomorrow. As I say, it's a new concept, Impossible Games, than last year, and that gets more excited. Something new to look forward to tomorrow. So it's gonna be a lot of fun though. As athletes, we used to have a lot of people on the stadium, but I think this is different kind of excitement and have fun tomorrow.
Sondre, please tell us a little bit about the incredible travel you had coming home. You've been now in Africa training since mid-February. And it wasn't easy to get home in these special circumstances with COVID-19, airport closed. The short version.
Yeah, the short version. In Kenya they at the moment they have curfew, and all the airports in the country is closed. So I was waiting for charter flight from Nairobi, but the one I got in Kenya was from Mombasa, so I had to take a taxi from Eldoret in northeast of the country. So by taxi, 5 hours sleepover, and then in Nairobi, and then the next day 11 hours with the bus, and we had to stop several times because of they had to check for fever, and then again sleepover in Mombasa, and then from Mombasa to Amsterdam, arriving midnight, and then next morning the final flight from Amsterdam to Oslo. So it took me 78 hours from door to door, and normally this travel takes 22 hours.
So Carolina, when you hear this travel, it could only be a guy that runs to 25,000 meters that could use 5 days going home.
Yeah, I think I would go home many weeks ago, but I think Sondre likes to be in Kenya, so but it's good to have him home in Norway.
And what do you think tomorrow when you're going to run at the Impossible Games and having Sondre out there? Everyone will have Sondre out there running because they're running all the time. So how will it be to because you're doing the 3,000 meter tomorrow, and Sondre will be there running. What's your actual goals for tomorrow, and how do you think the whole circumstance with no people in the stadium will be for you? Because you're so accustomed to the normal Bislett Games.
I don't think I will think about that so much, because when you start the race, you're so focused on what you're gonna do. So I don't think I will will see some of that at all because I don't want. Yeah, we are running each side of the track, so I think I will just focus on what I'm gonna do, and I want to run fast tomorrow, and that's Sondre also gonna do. So, but it's of course it's good to be there together because we have the same goal. So we will maybe try to run fast together.
And during a race tomorrow, Sondre, there's also the possibility to break the Norwegian record at least in the 1 hour and also in the 20K. And so there's possibility for 3 records for you tomorrow. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's those events are quite unusual, and but still they are record events. So
official European records, all of them.
Yeah. That's for sure, but the 1 hour is much harder, and I think the 25K is more suitable right now. But if I break the European, the pace for European record for 25,000 is slightly faster than the fastest Nordic performance of 20K and the 1 hour, so hopefully I can get 3 records if everything works out well.
So what I can promise is that you will break records, but what I will promise is fantastic good weather tomorrow. And I will also promise you one more thing, is that this Bislett Impossible Games is the one, when you stop track and field, when you grow old, this is the one you won't forget, because this is a special one, which was so strange. So I wish you good luck tomorrow, all 3 of you. And this will also be the wrap of today's talk show from the Impossible Games. So then I will just ask all the viewers to check the Wanda Diamond League website to see which country will, and which TV channel in your country will actually broadcast the meeting live tomorrow. Because there's a lot of countries, so please check with the Facebook or the website on the wandadiamondleague.com, and you will find out what country and what TV station to watch it in your country. That wraps it up for me, and thank you so much.